welcome back to Tempus Valorem. So today we'll be talking about two games that I've been playing for quite a while, so especially one, Empire and Puzzle, and the other one will be Puzzle Combat. You will see they're totally different, that's spoiler alert. So let's start with the Empire and Puzzle. So this is a game from Small Giant Studios and it's been out for a long time now. So it's kind of like the old school puzzle framework that you will have in Candy Crush, etc. So match 3 layout with RPG components. So I will show you, we'll go directly to a fight and I will show you briefly what it's about, and then we'll get back to the main screen. So here you can see my team that I can select with my heroes, etc. and I can go and fight. This game is quite interesting because it's a bit easy to pick up and hard to master. So easy to pick up is that everybody can do a match 3. This is not rocket science, etc. This is relatively easy. What's going to be a bit harder the more you play is that you will have to strategize actually your team and filling up the action bar that you can see at the bottom while you attack to actually deliver a strong blow against your opponent and be able to take over, especially in arena and PvP, etc. So that part gets more and more interesting the more you play. You have like different techniques during the gameplay that are a bit enhanced. Like for example here, if I do, I can use my blue and then I'm gonna do the blue even if there's no one, but actually like it's gonna charge my bar almost twice faster, which is called ghosting. So if you actually attack in nowhere basically and you don't attack anyone, you actually manage to get a bit more score. So the game is quite simple as you can see overall. But you have like zillions of heroes and all the heroes will have different powers, etc. that are quite interesting to mix and match up. They add regularly heroes, especially in the last year. I think they became a bit more greedy maybe and have a bit more pressure into making more and more revenues. But you can see that now they're releasing new heroes very regularly, which makes it really hard for people to catch up. So that's one thing. Like this is a game that if you want to even try it, like don't think about it for like a week or two. It's a game that you will have to play for a very long time before getting good stuff. Let's say good heroes, etc. You may have to spend a good amount of money as well. The subscriptions are not really optional if you play the game seriously. So that's something to take into account. And obtaining heroes, is like really hard. You will see that the events that you have in the game will allow you to get more and more heroes and do more and more summons, but the amount of chance that you have to actually get a 5-star hero, etc. is very, very low. There is no PT system, which is something that shouldn't really be happening anymore in gacha game. This is really at least the minimum you can do to your players, is that every X amount of time they spent in the game or every X amount of money they spent in the game, they get something for sure. So this is something that we'll see should be improved. For the offers on the store, they're really aggressive. So something that you need to be careful with is that it's really easy to spend money, especially on all the event-related offers. So when you have like the 4 tabs like that, event-related, this is the offers that are the most interesting in the game. And of course they reveal one every day of the event, which makes you likely to actually want to purchase like the 5 of this one, the 3 of this one, etc., etc., to really drain you as much as possible. For the heroes, one thing that's quite important, just more as a tip actually, more than a review for you guys if you're starting, will be that in this kind of puzzle RPG games, you need to have a rainbow team. Rainbow team will mean like one hero of one color that you need to level up. That will be in your core team. So you can see at the top, for example, I have a rainbow. I have like blue, red, purple, yellow, and green. What people don't tell you, so there's a lot of really good influencers out there for this game, a bit less than other games, but still a good amount. What they don't tell you though is that you need to beware of the class. So here, when you build your core team, so you play the game, let's say like 1-2 weeks, you start having a pool of heroes that's quite decent, then you need to really focus on some heroes that you're gonna level up on the long term, because it takes a long time. Look, I think in 4-6 months I still don't have some of them at the max level. So you will need to actually have different class, and that's something quite important that's going to help you if you actually focus on heroes with different classes. So here you can see that the class icon is available on the top left. This is because I've unlocked the talent grid, because I managed to level up my hero to the maximum. And some heroes, like Thor, for example, here you can see is not ascended to the maximum. So ascending a hero to the maximum is taking a very, very long time, or a lot of money. This is going to be like about, let's say in dirham here, it's like 150, 200 dirham, which would be the equivalent of like 35, 40 euros for one poison dart, and you need 6. So this is just to give you an example of how expensive or how long it can be to level up your heroes. So make sure to take Rainbow Team, a tank in the middle if possible, and your DPS on the sides. You need a cleanser if possible, someone who's going to remove debuff. So that's something that, for example, you would have written in the skills, dispel all buff from enemies, so it's a cleanser but for the enemy team. And then you have some people who are going to cleanse your team, like for example Sabina here, she's going to be able to do that. Oh no, enemy again. There's some like riggers who can do it for your team here. So yeah, build your team, Rainbow, tank in the middle, a bit less fragile, let's say, on the wings, I mean on the sides, and then the wings can be like your DPS, etc., your damage dealer. So that's it for the hints for the heroes. What's really important in this game, and as nowadays in all social mobile games, will be the alliance. And here what's really important is that you have the wars and the titans. So the titan will be something PV, so let's see, we're going to attack this guy, we're going to finish him off for the guild. So attacking a titan unlock reward for the entire guild. So that's something that your guys are going to push in your guild, etc. all the time. And you would have to have specific team for the titan. So you will have actually a team that's really dedicated to titans, like for example with heroes like Wukong or Tarlak, etc. that are much more powerful for Titan, and a team that's dedicated more for the campaign, and one for the arena. So based on your luck, you will need to really see how you can actually maximize and have only like maybe 7-10 heroes to start with that will be in your main team, that will help you actually king you out during the game without having to level up, you know, like 15 for 3 teams. That would be really helpful. So here, see, like I'm not paying too much attention, so actually I'm losing a little bit on a weak Titan, so please bear with me. This is not the best of me, like I can be a little bit better sometimes. And here you can see Wukong is going to enable me to actually deal a bit more damage, but with a miss, like a drawback, let's say. It's going to make me miss a bit more often, even if I did more damage. And that's it. I think we're going to finish this one for the guild, like anytime now. So you will see, actually, you will feel compelled really to help your guys and to make sure that you always defeat the Titan, because if you don't defeat the Titan, then actually you're going to lose a lot of rewards for everyone in the guild, which is not what you want. So here we dealt the fatal blow to the Titan. So that's something really important. And then we're going to go to wars. So wars are going to be like the art of war, like one of the best parts of the game, and where all your teammates are going to push you to do so. So here, for example, you will see that you have your team, you need to set up your defenses, and then you're going to attack people. So what's really important is that in wars, you will need several teams. You cannot have only one team. Because once you attack with your team, this team is gone, no matter if they die or not. So see, you have like, my main team was already used, so now I'm going to actually go for a secondary team. In wars and in PvP, sometimes you don't have to do a rainbow team. So here, for example, I'm not going to do a rainbow team. I'm going to do something a bit more exotic, something like that, and I'm going to try to attack them. So if you have, for example, 3 greens in your team, you're going to actually charge much faster that color, because see here, like you have my 3 heroes, you can see them, like I'm going to deal more damage. See, like I almost destroyed that guy with just one time, and I charge my heroes much more. So now I'm going to go to the left here, and I have my heroes almost to the max. So now I'm a bit unlucky because there's no more green on the board, but if I'm a bit lucky, it's going to come back and I'm going to manage to actually cleanse and destroy them quite quickly. So we'll see about that in a minute. So that's about it for Empire and Puzzle. Again, not a bad game, just a bit of an old game. So you're going to arrive, if you start now, and you're going to have a lot of people who have tons of experience in the game, and it's going to be a bit hard to onboard. So one thing that you need to do is to go really like not waste time on units that you shouldn't level up. So try, like, there's a lot of guides like on the website Tempus Valorem. I'm going to show you guys like a couple of references, etc. So if you want just go to the website and you will have actually the top influencers and the top videos to start the game, etc. So that can be helpful for you guys. And yes, like there's some like Astrox who still keep on producing content quite regularly. It's just a bit of an old game, so like there's not like so many content creators. So here, see, like it's gonna be a bit hard for me to finish them, especially like it's not gonna be the most interesting ending. So sorry guys for my guild, but I'm gonna flee this one. And I still gain 25 points for my alliance. So you can see that right now we're actually winning. So that's about it for this game. You see like the Titan, you get the reward, and this is for the entire guild. Monetization wise, again, it's really aggressive, guys. The VIP is really hard without it. At the moment I don't have it, but you get a second builder, you get like auto tickets, etc. It's quite mandatory, to be fair, to get most of the game. You have it here. It's 18 dirham per month, so like 3-4 euros, I guess, per month. The item, a lot of decoy. All these things are bullshit. Don't spend time on that. Don't spend time on that neither. This is something that you can craft. It's really like, it's a bit sad that it's so hard to get gems in this game, and they still put traps in featured and battle items. There may be some stuff sometime that you will need here, but it's gonna be very, very rare. Most of the time you will need to keep all your gems for summons, because it's so hard to get gems in this game that you will need to use them to summon, because it's almost impossible to get a 5-star in the game. It's going to take you a very long time. You have mechanisms that appear once you're much later in the game, like here, for example. Like here, you will be able to trade legendary heroes, but it's like you have a chance to get a legendary hero, and this is almost as bad, if not worse, than summoning. So here you have like event summon, etc. So depending on what you're on, but costume summon can be a good way to start the game. And you have also the Valhalla summons, I would say. That would be my two favorites at the moment to start the game. On my side, I don't need so much the costume ones, but like the Valhalla ones, I still need to get some specific units. So that's about it, guys, for the core gameplay, etc. Very demanding game in terms of time. It's going to take you a good amount of time every day. It's fun though. Like the gameplay itself is quite fun. It's just like it's very ungrateful. Like it's really like you cannot do a summon that often, and it's really hard to get the hero you want. It takes ages to ascend them, etc. So that's a little bit sad. So very demanding. If you really like puzzle RPG games, and if you really like match 3 games, then this is a game that could be for you for sure. Just think like if you want to play like about 3 to 6 months minimum before getting some stuff. So now we're gonna go to the little brother, let's say, of Empire and Puzzle, which is totally different. As you can see, it's totally different, right? It's a different art. All the rest is gonna be almost the same though, jokes apart. So you're gonna have like your base, you're gonna have the same. So all the icons are slightly different, yes. The setting is much more modern. So as you can see, like even the way they promote the game, in the way they try to acquire users, they really try to focus on people who are playing more like Fortnite game, that are a bit more mid-core, hardcore gamers. You can see it with the font of the game. You can see it on the right of the video. You can see it's really like a font that's gonna target players of Fortnite, and to be like, hey guys, we have cool stuff on mobile too. Please have a look, while we have a lawsuit with, with Epic Games, and Fortnite is not available on the store. So you can see here you have the same missions, you have the same summon, etc. So I'm gonna do a couple of summons. What's more tricky here is that you really see like someone in the live ops, like they're really bad people. Not that I was one before, but trying to find ways how to make more money. And one of the way to make more money is that in Empire and Puzzle you have troops and units, and here you have weapons and units, and here they monetize on both. When on Empire and Puzzle they don't really monetize so much on the troops, but here you have actually exclusive weapons, etc. that you can get with the same system as the hero. So this is very sneaky. It's something that's not especially needed. Like you even have monthly exclusive weapon. So you have monthly exclusive hero in Puzzle Combat and in Empire and Puzzle, but here it's just a bit too much to add this layer on the weapon as well. Anyway, we're going to do some summon, but we're going to see that getting a 3-star is almost impossible. The art style is quite cool, but again, like you can see the same postures, etc. of the characters as in Empire and Puzzle. It's just like different art setting, really. We're gonna play one game though, and I'm gonna show you some stuff is a bit different just in the gameplay. It's very minor though, but it's quite different. So if we go here, and let's say I'm probably gonna die there. Let's try to go here maybe. Let's see if I can manage to do it. So you can see again rainbow team. Again, ideally different classes. So here I have the medic, I have this recon, etc. So try to have different classes for the long term. I got a bit lucky and I spent a bit of money, so I managed to get 5 stars there. So what's interesting here, let's see if we can manage to do any, is that if you do squares, you also get a power-up. So see, boom, I did a square, and this one is going to do an X. So it's going to actually take tiles that are in a shape of an X. So I'm going to do it on the right, so I can actually do this yellow, this blue, plus a line. And see, I get actually a bit more attack. So let's say like it's a bit more fast-paced as gameplay. It's not so bad. Like for example, my wife don't like it, and she really likes Empire and Puzzle. She finds it a bit too fast-paced. But again, like it's a different audience that's targeted here. If you look at people who are gonna play Fortnite, etc., it's gonna be people who want something a bit more fast-paced. So they could have done a good amount of market research as well to see that okay, actually the gameplay needs to be a bit faster. It needs to look like weapons and bullets. You know, it was the troops in Empire and Puzzle. When here it's something that looks a bit more modern, a bit more active, and a bit less chilled out, let's say. Than Empire and Puzzle, even if Empire and Puzzle is not really fully chilled out. But yeah, that's about it, guys. I wanted to compare the two games. I'm just feeling a bit sad. I was really excited about Puzzle Combat, so I didn't really follow the soft launch, but they had the worldwide launch not so long ago, and I was quite excited to see like, okay, like what did Small Giant actually bring on the table? How did they improve on the framework from Empire and Puzzle, which is something that's really interesting for us as game developer. You know, it's like, okay, what did they learn? What did they actually put in place? And here we can see, well, what did they want? Actually, ways to make more money by adding actually exclusive weapons, etc. And also make the gameplay a bit more fast-paced. But the rest, everything is the same. I replayed the F2E because I'm playing on BlueStack now. I replayed the F2E today to actually be able to do this video. And again, both F2E, like first-time user experience, are exactly the same on both games. So it's copy-paste, it's just different art. All the choke points are the same, everything is exactly the same. So that's a little bit sad. I think game developers should actually try a bit harder to bring something new to the table and not just copy almost everything here, except again, the art obviously. So that was it for this flash-ish review of Empire and Puzzle and Puzzle Combat. If you're interested about having more tips, etc. on any of these games, I can make dedicated videos. There's a lot of videos again that are from influencers, but if you guys are interested, I'd be happy to. So please let me know in the comments, like and subscribe please, and have a great day. Bye bye.